All right. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Day 10. This is day 10 of my 30-day consecutive live. Day 10. All right. I'm holding true to it. We're going to get through it. We're on day 10. 10 days straight we have done a live. Hope somebody out there has learned something from what we're putting out there. And let's get to it. Got some good energy right now. Got some real good energy. Got a busy day, had a busy day. Every Wednesday, we have our weekly training calls for our community. So Wednesdays, my days are usually the most busy on Wednesday. So we're about an hour and a half from that call. I look forward to those calls because I get a chance to check up on the community. I get a chance to look at what kind of deals they are doing or have done or have ran across. We usually review deals on those calls. We give our opinion on if it's a good deal, if it's a bad deal, whatever questions people have during those calls, that's where they get them answered at. That's where you will get the most help. If you were inside of our community, you will get the most help on that training call. It's good for new people also to see other people that came before them and see some of the deals that they're finding. All right. Today, I did a post today about a deal that's our latest deal, a 19-acre that we got our agreement back. You can see that right there on the screen. It says what? Purchase agreement. And if I raise it up a little bit, it says for 19 acres for $52,000. That has came back in the mail today. That is the seller that wants to sell his land for the agreed $52,000. I got a good feeling about that deal. Got to be honest with you. Based upon the comps that I see so far, it should be a pretty successful deal. I found a 5-acre that sold in 2021 for $55,000 that sits about a mile away from our property. So in my space, in our world, that's excellent news. That is a good comp. So I don't know the exact selling price that we're going to sell it for yet. I have to do some more homework to land on the exact selling price, but coming out the gate, that's enough information for me to say, at least say, as of today, I'm moving forward with the deal. All right. So let's talk about how do we make passive income selling land? How do we do that? How do we make passive income selling land? Seller finance. That's how you make passive income selling land. And this works on small deals all the way up to large deals. Let's break that down. How do we do that with small deals or large deals? I'm going to break that down. So when you sell a finance land, you play the bank. You are the bank. That's what I love about it. You state the price that you want for the property. You state the price that you want for the down payment. You state the price that you want for your monthly payments. You state the whatever you want in your contract. If you say, I'll give you 10 days to be late, and if not, I'll void the contract. You can write that up in your contract. However you want the deal to go, you set it up that way. You are the bank in these seller finance deals. You have total control. It's your deal. That's one thing that I absolutely love about that, because we have the flexibility to be stern as we need to be, or as gentle or lean as we need to be with these deals. So let's start low. Let's say you wanted to make, coming out the gate, a new investor, you wanted to make $2,000 a month. I'm going to give you a play. I got to take this call. Y'all going to hear a call right now, too. This is my realtor, one of my realtors. This guy makes about $70 million a year selling land. I'm going to do this live, too. Hey, Shane.
What's going on, Ray?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, doing good.
How did everything go today?
Man, I'm assuming it closed. I actually dropped a check yesterday and signed everything I was supposed to because I knew what was going. My day was looking crazy. So I'm assuming it all went good. The attorney hadn't called me and told me anything different. So
No, it did close. I spoke to Mr. Brooks, and he said everything real good, and he was excited. So it did close.
I go, all right, well, good. They supposed to get with you, because they asked how you wanted to get. I gave them your number. I said, look, y'all coordinate, either wire it or mail him a check. I don't know. It's totally up to him.
All right, I'll give him a phone call.
It was on the settlement statement.
Okay, I'll give them a phone
side,
call.
I made sure that the seller, I made sure they did separate settlement statements. And I just put it on the settlement statement as an assignment. That's all I put it there, because I didn't know how you wanted to code it on your end.
Okay, I'll call them in the morning and just see where we at with it, and see how they can best get it over to us. Other thing is, you do Lauderdale County?
I do. I don't do a bunch in it, but I do it.
All right, I got a deal that I want to send your way for you to look at and tell me what you think. I got the contract back today. I think it's a good deal. I just want to see what your opinion is on it.
I got you.
All right.
Yeah, shoot it to me.
I'll shoot it to you in about 20 minutes.
All right.
All right. Appreciate you.
I mean.
All right. Now, that guy does about $70 million a year selling land. And we'll get back to that. Let's get back on topic though, because I do want to drive this topic home. So seller finance and land. If you wanted to make $2,000 a month coming out the gate as a new person, right? How you would go about this? Look for inexpensive land. We have found a lot of great places that you can find inexpensive land. Look for properties that you can get from the auction, or learn how to go around the auction direct to owner in places that are not so nice. Places that are not so nice. We did a live about this the other day, targeting land in bad areas, right? Once you find those areas that still have some value and you get them at cheap prices, you want to seller finance those deals. Why? Two reasons. Why? Because it turns into free money. What do I mean by free money? So let's paint a real scenario, hypothetically. And I've done this before, so this is a real scenario. So you find an area that's not the most desired area, but there's still some value in the area. Let's be exact with it. So I targeted an area that I knew I could get properties for $500 to $800. I knew I would be able to make an offer for that amount. When we make offers, we don't know if they're going to get accepted or not. But that's my price point. That's the price that I'm willing to pay. I wanted to pay $500 to $800. Will I bump up a little bit? Sure, depending on the property. I keep it low. That's why I say we buy for 25% on the dollar. Because if they want to ask for more money, me starting so low, sure, I can bump up if it's worth it. So I target an area that I can buy for $500 to $800. I knew that once I bought the properties, I'll be able to sell them anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 or $3,500. Just depends on which side of the town and the property, the size of the property, things like that. So once I bought them, I bought like 15 to 20 of them, small properties. I seller financed like 12 or 13 of them out the gate. The other ones I sold for retail price of anywhere between $2,200 and $3,500. I think we even sold one for $3,800, right? The seller finance ones, once I put them on the market, you may see deals on the market that say land for sale for $1. That is a seller finance deal. When you see that, a lot of people get excited. Oh, they're selling it for $1. No, they're not selling it for $1. That is a seller finance situation. And they're telling you $1 down. To get it, monthly payment will be X, Y, and Z. The $1 is a good lead magnet to get you to stop and look at the deal. All right. But back to if you were selling it. If you paid $500 for the deal and you listed it for $2,500, your listing would look like this. Property selling for $2,500. Then you would write in the body, seller finance. Then you explain the seller finance terms. You would say down payment. I would say down payment of $700. So if they say I don't have it, I'll say, well, give me $600. Right? Because I paid $500. Now I have my money back that I paid for the deal. Everything else is free income. Then you would set your monthly payments on small deals. A good denomination would be anywhere from $75 to $200. I like $150. I don't sell or finance those small deals for nothing less than $150. So if you wanted to make $2,000, how many of those deals do you need to do? 12 to 15. That's $2,000 a month. And it's free. Because why is it free? Because your down payment is getting your money back. You're getting your money back off the down payment. I gave this play out a handful of times too. You're getting the money back. So that's if it's on a small scale, but it's $2,000 extra dollars a month. Or it's paid in full. $150 to get to $2,500, they'll be paying you for at least 7-8 months. Right? So for the next 6 to 7 to 8 months, you should be getting that money coming in. Now, it may seem like small money. Oh, it's only $150. But the catch is, like I said, you need to do 15 to 20 of those. Multiply 15 or multiply 20 times 150. That'll put you somewhere around that $2,000 to $3,000 a month mark. The other caveat to this is what we know inside of this space, people never go to full term of the seller finance. Rarely do they go full term. What's full term? Meaning that they pay the whole balance off. Typically, they'll pay like a few months of it off, and then they stop paying for whatever reasons, and they stop paying. What happens at that point? You just put the property right back on the market for another down payment. Give me another $600 and put somebody else in the seller finance situation, and so on and so forth. But clearly, if they pay at that point, once their final payment, you prepare the deed and you send them the property, transferring ownership over at that point. That's the whole game for low denominations. Let's look at how bigger boys do bigger seller finance deals, right? So if you wanted to run a seller finance play and you wanted to accumulate a substantial amount of seller finance, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month doing seller finance deals. A lot of times what they do is one of two things. You have to already come into it with having some money set aside. That's one thing. If you have some money already set aside, this works. Two, my guys were going and if you had good credit, they were going, or they were using, they were getting lines of credits. They'll go to a local bank and they were attempting to get a modest line of credit, $25,000 through anywhere between $25,000 and $60,000 line of credit. Whatever your credit would support, go and get a line of credit. You don't want a loan, you want a line of credit, right? Line of credit. Why line of credit? Because you only pay what you use. So let's say you got a $60,000 line of credit and you wanted to run a seller finance play that will replace your job income. Now we're talking to people that's a little more savvier. How do you replace your job income? It will take time, first and foremost. This will take time. Just like all the years you spent on your job, don't think you're just going to run one play and get away from it that fast off of one play. This is not the lotto. But how do we do that? Let's say you had a line of credit for $60,000. Then you would look for land, even if you wasn't getting it at a discount price, even if you went to retail markets, right? Even if you went on Zillow right now and you saw land that was selling for $25,000 for, let's just say, a 3-acre or a 2-acre, selling for $25,000. And yes, there's plenty of places you can get land, good land, for $25,000 and $30,000. Actual fact. The type of land that you should be getting is recreational land. You don't want residential land. You want recreational land when you're running this play. Because residential land is going to be for one thing, building a home. All right? We don't want that. We want recreational land. Focus on rural, recreational land. So if you ran across a recreational piece, 2 acres on up, whatever you found, let's just say it was 25,000. You pulled 25,000 off of the line of credit. You put a down payment on it. Property for sale. If you even bought it off market, even if you wasn't using our strategies to get it for a lower price, even if you bought it on the market, just make sure you're buying it for the price that it's retail for that current date. Don't overpay, which I doubt you would. So if you got it for 25, you bought it out of your line of credit, you put a down payment, you put in your listing, you want a down payment, put the down payment somewhere around $5,000. You will not get 25,000, and this won't be free money in this scenario. All right. So you'll put the down payment for 25,000. You will bump the total price up, the life of the loan, from 25 to like 28. You'll charge them interest on the monthly. You'll bump it to like 28,000. So your agreement will be you're seller financing this land for $28,000. Down payment down will bring it to 23. They'll finance $23,000 from you, the owner. How much money do you want a month for a $23,000 loan? Well, look at how much you're paying back on the line of credit and double that. So if the line of credit was 60 and you pulled 25, and out of that 25, this depends on the interest rate, you're paying back $400 a month, $450 a month. Let's say you're paying back $500 a month. Make your monthly payments $1,000. So now you're getting the money back to pay that down the line, to pay back the line, and you're pocketing the other $500. All right, your credit is going up at the same time, and you're pocketing the $500. And this is a game that the bigger boys play. So that's $500 a month off for one deal. Well, that's $1,000 off for one deal, but you're paying back the loan. Once the loan is paid back, it turns into a full $1,000. You're following? Is this making sense? Now, you would have, out of a $60,000 loan, you would have $35,000 left. Do another one. If you did the same exact thing, that's an extra $1,000 a month. And now you have the flexibility to pick quality land. Always pick quality land, because if all else fails, you can just sell it on the market and get rid of it and get out of all of it. So it's like, I got a couple of friends that this is all they do. And they've been doing it for so long that they're making, just off of seller financing, $15,000, $20,000 a month. But it takes time to build up. If you got a little foresight, you can see how this can build up rather fast. And as I stated, when it comes to land, they never go full term, especially recreational land. People seller finance the deals, and they want it for what they want it for. Maybe for the season, maybe for the next 8 months. They'll go use the recreational land, and then when they're done using it, they default on the loan. What do you do at that point? You put it right back on the market. They don't get their down payment back. They don't get their monthly payments that they paid. You don't get that back. And you just go put it right back on the market. And guess what? With recreational land, especially when it's nice recreational land, they usually come on your property and they make some improvements to it because they want to use it for the next 8 months. So they make some form of improvements to it, whether that's leveling out the ground or whether that's adding a small structure and leaving it there. And you wouldn't say anything. Get the structure that you left. No, you don't say anything. You just leave it. Just how they left it. They're not going to go, if they leveled the ground, they're not going to go and now go make hills in it because they left the property. So when you get the property back, it's coming back, in a lot of times, in a lot of cases, it's coming back better than what it was when they first got into it. All right. So those are the two ways we looked at it from both ends of the spectrum. If you were a new person, right, resources were limited, do it on a lower level, on a lower scale. People that may be more well-to-do, do it on that scale. It works both ways. I promise you it works. You just have to work it. We just have to be in it for the long haul. Like, business is not a sprint. This is not something you hop in and, in 3 months, I made it. It don't work like that. Do a seller finance deal. Do another one. Do another one. After the first year or two, you should start to have accumulated a passive income that looks generous. It works. I will say this, the only caveat about doing seller finance deals, if you're a good bookkeeper, this will really work for you. If you're not a good bookkeeper, then it's going to annoy the hell out of you. Because once you start to get up between 10 to 20 deals of seller finance, you have to keep up with the payments. You have to keep up with the notifications. You could put the notifications on autopilot with your invoices, but you got to check your invoices of who paid. Did they pay for the month? So it takes some upkeep and some good bookkeeping skills to run the play. But it's your business. I've never seen business just be easy. Like, you just take people money and there's nothing to be accountable for. Only thing I like about this, as opposed to a traditional real estate and houses, is what are they going to do with the land? I don't got to go out there and put no lock boxes on it. I don't have to watch the land. I just give it to them in a contract. Whatever they do, I don't care what you do with it. Just pay me my monthly fee. All right, so that was the topic today. I'm going to cut it short. If somebody runs that play, contact me. Let me know that you ran it. Let me know it worked out successfully for you. I have to start to get ready for my weekly community call. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to jump into that call. So it's been real. Hope that works for somebody. Hope it helped somebody. If you're looking to come into our community, if you're looking to get started, text 1-877-250-7778. Only if you're looking to get started. If you need more information, there's plenty free content that we have. Watch our YouTube channel. We got a lot of long form content over there. All right, peace, love.